Hello guys, so let's start new prediction for next week. Quick recap of last week. Basically, prediction was correct in 100% in all the indices and the stocks, even with the dollar index, DXY. So also last prediction was for the SPY that if we break the 510, we will meet the 525. We can see that on this week we hit the 522.64 high and closed on the 520.84. Just looking at the weekly, we can see that there is a great possibility that we hit all-time high. Maybe we find some small resistance, but I think just while looking at it, we're gonna see a break and then maybe a retest. If we're looking at the volume, we see smaller volume on the up, which is not that good, but the stochastic is positive, facing up, aiming to hit the 50 and turning positive, maybe find some bounce there on the 50. Maybe sellers will come later. If we look at it regarding the Fibonacci retracement, extension, sorry, we can see that if we take it from here to there, we hit the 518. This was on my last prediction the first target, the second target is 525, and the end you can see here at the 536. Maybe we will meet it in 1 week or 2 weeks, maybe 3, I don't know. So this is the weekly, seem very positive even though the volume is very low. I think it's let's say that the bars are a little bit holding back, but you can see either here that volume is low and then on the break coming to the upside. Will we see something like this, low volume continuation? We might do so. You know what, let me check something. I know people saying that, let me make it more smaller, that it looks like that we're gonna see a red continuation now. But what I think will be will be something like this one. We're gonna see continuation and then maybe we see a deeper pullback. Will we see it now? I don't think so. It seems that the bar is strong. There is no divergence for the short side, so it needs to rebuild the divergence, maybe push for the upside and maybe there create a reversal pattern with divergence. At the moment, just from looking at on the weekly, it seems strong. If we go in on the daily, again on the daily we can see hesitation to break the 510, then we managed to break it, retrace back again for the retest, break again with a gap up. I think this is what most people think, that we should close the gap. We might, but you can see gap, there is a lots of gap left behind which didn't close. And I don't know if we're gonna meet them soon. At the moment, what worries me, that we have the divergence, all right, but it didn't confirm yet. And in order to break the divergence, we just need to break the all-time high, the 524.55, I think it is. 61, all right. So if it managed to touch it, break it, it will break the divergence. So even if it will make a pullback, it will mean continuation. And usually we will see how much the sellers are gonna give us resistance there. If not, you can see on the daily there is indecision, big volume there. But small volume, but it's grinding higher. At the moment there is no sign for a confirmed divergence, but get ready for it, and usually there will be a break. If we go for the 1 hour chart, we saw the change of trend, we saw it back again here. We were careful. Prediction was we're gonna meet the support here back again and continuation higher. He broke the 518, so next target is all-time high, the 525 here, at 526 even. Again, here there is divergence, but small push to the upside will break it. At the moment, we see some sort of selling at the end of the session of the 4-hour chart. We can see a little bit higher volume coming in. But if it won't manage, it can do a pullback for the 518 again, 517, even a deeper pullback for the 513. I don't know if yet it will come for the 510 to retest it again, because this is a break. Alright guys, this is a break, and usually stocks like when they break something, they like to come and retest the break and then continue with the move. Will it be this week? Let's check together. We can see this is a lower high, this is higher high, so this is a good sign. There is a break, so it might push to the downside. So just by opening below this key area, it will pull lower. If we let me clear it up. If we go for the 1 hour chart, you can see in the 1 hour chart there is no clear sign, because we have divergence there on the 1 hour chart here and here. So if it will move for the upside, so just crossing here, crossing there, it will continue for the 525. If it wants to do a deeper pullback, and let's see with the, let me check it here. It can do a pullback to the 519, 518. You can see this is a nice area for a pullback. It's a positive pullback. Bring more buyers in order to break the 525. I think the sellers came in here because they was afraid to move. The buyer is afraid to move all at once to the 525 and get rejected, so they need more power, more profit taking, and then push for the upside. At the moment, it seems that it wanted to do a smaller pullback. Will it be bigger? I don't know. Let me check something. Let's check. Longer run, it seems strong, positive, even breaking the all-time high 526. Smaller time frame, it could try to push to the 518, even a little bit lower 517, and then coming back up. Will it do so? I don't think so. The momentum is positive. Any pullback will bring more buyers. And if you want to make sure above the 521.50, let me check. This is this area. It could push higher very easily if it closes above it. So this is what I see at the moment. So not that much decision. Afraid to on the daily breaking, creating divergence and breaking the high. So it wants to continue. In the 4-hour chart, it seems it wants to do a small pullback with divergence the opposite direction. At the 1-hour chart, it seems that it wants to do more push to the upside, but it didn't finish the divergence. So it can pull a little bit more and then give us a sign to enter. Will it clear this divergence for the 505? I can say if it moved down in 2 days, I will be surprised. Even though next week, so this week should be some news and more reports. So should be careful. But at the long run, I'm still positive for the moving for the upside. Need a big announcement to break this movement. So this is for the SPY. Let's move for the Qs. With the Qs, basically the same goes. You will see it here, divergence. Did it finish? No, it didn't give a sign of a finish. So just push a little bit higher and it will break it, which means continuation even if you do a pullback. If we check it on the 1 hour chart, you can see it break all. The 440 was my end target, but also 443. So it managed to reach there and then rejected. Again, divergence for the downside, so probably will bring good buyers. If we take the extension from here to there, we can see first, second, resting here on the 535, which is a good one. Qs tend to be more volatile, so we can push again for the 430. Will it do so? Again, it seems strong on the longer term. On the shorter term, if it break the 440, should be more careful because its next target could be the 435, as we saw it here. So be very cautious about it. We have again the divergence in the shorter term for the move for the upside. So again, if it manage to break above this one, it will continue higher. If it do a deeper pullback, also be good. Manage to, if can it do pullback for the closing the gap, anything can happen, but at the moment I don't see any clear sign for it. You can see the volume coming up and immediately the sellers came in pushing it, and now it's struggling. But no divergence on the 1 hour for pullback, just continuation to the upside, just to need the sign. That's it. But still, even if it will do come back for the 435, it's still positive pullback because it knows it's gonna have a hard time to breaking all this selling pressure, the selling ceiling, and it's doable. IWM is more trickier. You can see the big sell of the big rejection we didn't get in the SPY or in the Qs. This is basically what worries me on this index. Look at it here. All right, it tried to break, it failed again, and there is break. You can see it here. This is a sign of moving for the downside. So I know a lot of sellers will enter below the 203, 204, probably enter for the short side. What helps us is the fact that we have a lot of support from below, but it doesn't look that good because this gives us a sign for a short continuation. If we look at it on the 4-hour chart, we can see it already crossing again. So pushing below this one, push again for looking for support. But this is good because this is the break. We need to retest it, all right, to see if the support is holding. If not, continuation to the downside. And you can see why, because on the move for the upside there is low volume. Even on the sell, low volume on the selling, low volume. So maybe bringing more buyers to the party, give them a sign that it wants to push higher, and then crossing above. If we look at it on the 1-hour chart, you can see there again divergence. I know it's ain't that clear, and this is a big candle. Usually when you see big candle, it means sellers are lurking in the house, so be prepared. but at the moment it could do another push, and if it managed to move higher, it will break the divergence. But with IWM, I'm a little bit more negative. Let me check something. With IWM, it needs to cross the 208.60, a little bit above 208.70. It gives more weakness size for the downside, and for the downside, the next target is the 198.60. So let's move here. The 198, this is about here, and this is a deeper pullback, which I don't like. Let's put again this is it. The 199, this is the 199, 198, this is here. This is not that good. And it could push and give us a sign for the SPY and the Qs. So be ready, guys. All right, let's go. I don't know, move forward. You know what? We gave the DX. Let's test it again. With the DX, what we see here again, divergence, which is good for continuation. I don't know how much that is good for the stocks, because it's touched the 6180, crossed a little bit above, and then push higher. This is a divergence. Just need it completed. It should just need a sign for continuation. And you can see this is a break retest. So if it managed to hold and push above the 105, we're probably gonna see a push to the upside. I don't know if it's gonna break it, but it's a positive push, which means it's a little bit negative for the market. Also here, the prediction was that we're gonna see a push higher for a retest and then push to the downside, but in here we see more negativity with some support, which if it breaks to the downside, it will push lower, and on the daily, positive one. So what it's gonna be? When you don't have clear sign, you just have to follow. On the 1 hour chart, we see again more divergence to push to the upside, even though the momentum is negative. We see a big candle, so maybe it will be the final push and then resuming down, which means on the market it will be the opposite. It will be push for the downside and resuming for the upside. So get prepared for it. You can see more volume coming in this area, which means I think more buyers interested in this area to push it for the upside. Not that good. Be very careful. Let's move on for Tesla. I gave you both sides because you should be very careful for it. With Tesla prediction was correct, moving for the downside. I thought it will stop at this area. It pushed lower. Don't give us a good sign, which means probably Tesla will go for the closing for this gap. Not that good for Tesla at all, because if it reached there, I don't know where is the bottom, maybe the 120, 115. So at the moment it reached a key area for testing or support, the 167.70 area here. So it can try to retest it and see how it goes. But if it fall, guys, it seems that it's gonna break the 140. It doesn't look that good. Let me check something. If next target is the 164, 165 for the downside. And next one is the 146. So 164 and 146 closing the gap and then pushing down. This is from the daily. If we look at it up here, we touched the resistance, even touched the second one, and then did a pullback as we saw. But now you can see from here to there, there is no divergence. So now it's a retest, which is good. This is what we want to see on the SPY, on the Qs, this pullback, and now this is a key area for a retest. So if it managed to hold it, even though it started to change to -1, Momentum start to be negative. This is facing down. Couldn't be that good, but as you can see it here, in the longer term, it could reach to the 164, 163 area, which we talked about, and then stop there, do a false break to the downside, entered all the short sellers all with the option, and then pushing back and resuming the upside, which could be very interesting. What we have here, any push to the downside will create definitely divergence for the upside. The question is if the buyers will be interesting and to pushing very fast the price action. Could be very interesting to see that. On the 1 hour chart, you can see it closed gap. All right, this is the second gap. So even though I would like it to close the gap, it won't be that good because this is a deeper gap, which means the buyers wasn't very interesting in all. I want to see a price action, buyers buying 160, 165, 155, and then pushing up. At the moment here, this is 204. This is, we saw 150, I don't know, 156. I don't know. This is like a flag, and it try in the post market to break here. So if I'm gonna see a push up, I will not take it long, but I will be looking for a better sign from here to coming back to the upside. So be very careful with Tesla. If it managed to break, it's continuation, but if it holds, it could be pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, pushing down, and then doing break either way, so be very careful with it. So far Tesla on the hold seem positive. Maybe it can continue to be positive at the moment. Creating any push to the downside will create divergence for the upside because of this big move. So watch it carefully. Apple, same goes here. Apple last prediction was basically sideways indices. I didn't want to enter each side because I didn't have any indication whatsoever. At the moment, what we have here is a little bit divergence for the downside. So maybe now we will get the pullback. Watch the bars coming back in. Still a little bit sideways. If we look at it on the daily, you can see, do you want to enter long or enter short? Probably a lot of the buyer will want to enter in this more attractive price action area and then pushing for the upside. But this candle structure is look like island reversal because nothing below, nothing up. So if it break above, moving to the upside. If it break below, moving for the downside. So we won't see much volume there, and you can see no volume, no volume, no volume. So we need a decision. If we watch it here, there is no divergence, but there is a cross for momentum for the downside maybe. Again, if we watch it here, you can see this is a higher high, this is lower high. So want to move for the downside a little bit. It crossed the 50. This is momentum facing down, maybe start to change. So red candle creating pushing for the downside. Will it be a deeper pullback or small pullback? I don't know. But again, I think it should and it needs to make a pullback. I don't know if the buyers have enough power to hold it on this price action, making the break for the upside. What we see here, like here, we see the break, and then you see push for the downside. Maybe here we'll see a push for the 180 again, 179. You can see here there is a small divergence for the upside. It make the cross, but it's I don't know, in between. So above the 184, 183, 60, 50, probably another retest for the 185. You can see the rejection, and holding hit rejection. So Maybe it needs a little bit more power. Enter the short sellers, then try to push for the upside. Nvidia. It seems like so far the stocks are waiting for something. There is no clear. Each time frame give us something else. Nvidia holding. Divergence again, like the SPY and the Q. So in order to clear the divergence, let me check if it's this is 93, 92. This is 94. There is divergence. So in order to clear it, it needs to break the 969. It can do so because Nvidia has some momentum, and I think it's giving its report this week or next week. I don't know. If it's next week, maybe we're gonna see a momentum here, and next week some pullback. Small volume either side. Participate. I see. Alright, this is from probably last time. Next target, all-time high. It can do so. It's listening. You can see if it listen, it probably will continue listening. You see it came up, retest, now probably do a second push. But see, momentum is facing down. So, but there is divergence. It cleared it. So crossing the 50, probably above here, 915. People will take it for its next target, all-time high. So this is Nvidia, Meta, grind higher. I know it's in positive, but this big move for the downside, should be very careful from it. Even if it seems that it's started to change the trend, I will wait for a bigger confirmation. You can see divergence already occur and also get confirmed. It crossed below and crossed below the 80. So it means below this one, it will push lower for retest. Doesn't mean a fall, just moving for the downside. So you can see it close, let's say, close some gaps here. And maybe now we'll find something. If we take the extension, alright, so it might push for the 486 and then make a pull. Divergence on the daily didn't finish, but it's creating. So if it will push lower here, it will cross, and then we probably will have continuation. I think it will be much harder for it to break the all-time high. So it can, the best way for it to do is to give up now and move sideways and hold. Alright. Maybe, I don't know if it wants to close the gap here and to move again for the 400. Could be interesting. Let's check something. If we take it from here, oh, it's a computer, I don't need it. If we take the extension here, let's say this is finished its move. The 6180 is the 405. Alright. You didn't see that. So far, I'm still negative about it. Even if it give a push, usually it tends to reject it from it. So be very careful from it. You can see it grind. So the buyer wants to be very strong. Eventually they will fail. This is the first failure. I know there is divergence for the upside, but this is, you know what? Even if there is a divergence for the upside, this is the push for the upside, guys. So, and in the upside, if you want to see continuation, you want to see the break, and we didn't. We just did the push, and now this is a failure. So this could be a start for a new session for the downside, for a change, shift in the trend. So get prepared from it. You can see it here. This is a divergence. All right, but it managed to break. And this is what we see even if it was in the after and post time, we see continuation, and then moving from down. So get ready for it. Any divergence doesn't give you 100%, it just gives you sign you need to follow. Just a sec, guys, let me check something. All right, so this is meta mRNA, right? mRNA did a pullback. I told you be very careful with mRNA when you do a push to the upside, usually false break and then retest. So now we have to wait and see if we manage to hold it. Again, what we see here, creating a divergence, didn't finish it. So if it managed to hold, even if it will push a little bit more down and we see a green candle above, so it could be a good sign for the move for the upside. If we look at it on the daily, how it looks, you can see the trend, the price listening to the trend. And this is the break. All right, this is the break, and it's now retesting it. So I wish we could see smaller candle like a doji or big tail form below, which means buyers coming in. Could give us a good sign. No divergence there. Maybe here on a this is 98.13. This is 95. So from here to there is a divergence, so small pullback, just need to clear it and then move for the upside. More positive because mRNA in the past gave me a sign that he want to reach the 185 again. Could be so. Let me check something. All right. So BA. Right, BA. With BA, what happened with BA? We saw the move for the upside, give a sign for be prepared for the rejection. We get the rejection. Could be a second rejection. If so, be very careful from the move for the downside. This is the first. Maybe it could be the second. Again, positive momentum, positive, positive, positive. You can see here again. Divergence, continuation, but didn't manage to break it here. So if someone wants to continue, maybe you should wait a little bit, examine how the price action reacts to the 183, 184 high and see how it breaks it with a big volume, with a big candle, or if it's small, be very prepared for it. But seem positive that it wants to rest and clear. I know probably there is still continue to be more bad news about BA, and we got it there. But you see what happened. Even with the bad news, buyers are still interesting. So at the moment, any move for the upside will create divergence for the downside. And we still don't have the confirmation for the short continuation. If we look at it here, you can see it touched the 6180, which means we want to see again more for the downside if we want to see continuation. But I think this is the area, this is the 1, 2, this is the 3. So now maybe it will be a change in the trend. All right, so the sellers finish all their job. Maybe now we will face a phase for a sideways and then coming back up. I don't know, but at the moment I don't see big divergence. I just see continuation, and it could do in a bigger time frame, moving for a little bit for the downside or a sideways move. All right, this is it for BA. What we have here, gold. Let's move for the gold. Gold prediction was continue for the upside. I think it will continue for the upside. Even we have this island sign of reversal. If it closes below, manage for the downside. Momentum facing up, volume is coming up. If we looking it up here, I know there is some resistance, and it could touch the resistance and then make a pullback. But so far what you can see here, you can see a sideways move. So this is the high. It could try to go something. Be very careful. You don't want to buy at the high or sell at the low. You want to see a clear direction. So be prepared for it. At the moment, do we have any divergence? Momentum is still positive. This is the high. Don't have divergence there, don't have divergence there. Don't have divergence, so could mean continuation or a little bit sideways. Nothing much to see here. Let's move for the 1 hour chart, see how it looks there. Let's make it small. So probably island reversal moving down, close the gap, even though the gold and the silver doesn't much close in any gaps. They don't need so, and any move for the downside can create divergence for the upside. So if we look at it, let's say from here to there, you have the Fibonacci extension 217, 216, 216, 0, and from there, if it close, also close, create divergence, give confirmation, and then push in higher. Most of the people positive about gold, so don't try to bet against it. Again, if the gold will push higher, it doesn't look that good for the stock market, even if the dollars and the gold move to the a little bit upside, doesn't look that good. So maybe this week we'll probably gonna see a push a little bit down for next week result. Silver basically doing the same move. It's more attractive because it's much cheaper and also give more percentage wise. Give divergence for the upside, which look good. So continuation to the upside if we look at it on the daily. 4 hour chart, you can see the gold was at the resistance. See what happened with the silver, it break it and turn a little bit positive, momentum positive. This is what we want to see on the gold. Maybe we'll see it, maybe the gold is lagging behind, I don't know. Again, doing the break, let's hope it will come for a retest and then finish the break, continue higher. Gold, metal, copper moving higher doesn't look good for the market, guys. It's more defensive, commodities, so it's not that good for the stock market. But so far positive about silver, positive about gold. Let's look at it, the oil. I'm looking following Oxy. Oxy seem a little bit negative. You can see it did a big push for the upside and now rejecting, but again, remember, any push for the downside, there is a lots of profit in here, so they probably average down and can re-enter. It doesn't give us a sign, so if we see a cross back above the 20, if the price action push above the 65, we can be a little bit positive. At the moment it's negative. Seems it wants to come back again for the 60. I'm not that much following about Oxy anymore, just for give some sign. Let's see, no divergence, just continuation. You can see small divergence there. This is moving low, this is moving out, so maybe push for the upside again. Not that clear. I don't want to force it. Not that clear. So at the moment seems negative. So follow the trend. Nothing much to say, guys. Keep it simple, stupid. I think this is it, right? So you know what? Let's. This is the SPY, right? This is the SPY. Let's check how it looks. Remember this. And now let's move for this one. Let's see if it's gonna take some time. Yes, it rethink. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So this is the RSP. Is basically the SPY's equal weight, and you can see here again, pushing higher, wants to move for the upside momentum, positive. Nothing much to say. Will the sellers come in the 168? You can see it here again divergence, and this is what's a little bit worries me. All right, it didn't touch the 61 and break it. Usually, what I want to see, if we want to see a clear reversal pattern, you're going to see a tail from the 6180, and you don't see it. So could mean continuation. Maybe the 7640, even though the S&P 500 don't want to give a sign for a deeper pullback. So usually it's make a pullback on the 50, on the 60, which means something like this, all right? Or even something like this. But if it managed to cross above, close above, usually mean continuation for the upside. Nothing much to say here. Yeah, moving for the upside for the 168 maybe to see how it reacts, to see this. The selling pressure here, selling pressure on the 168. Let's see how it reacts for it. Could be very interesting. So guys, let's sum it up. So far, all I see is at the moment continuation for the upside. Even though there is a sign for divergence forming up. From my experience, if the markets want to break, it can do so very easily. Just a little bit sideways and then full break, and immediately going down for retest, full breaks, and then continuation. So this is it at the moment. Hope it helps you, give you some sign what to follow about entering or exiting. Do you do your own due diligence? Because there is no recommendation here what to do. I'll give you just my opinion, how I see the market and the trend and the momentum. So hope it helps, and guys, see you later. Bye bye.